So, who I am? I'm Bence Szabo. I work at Deloitte in Hungary as a penetration tester, and my first disclaimer is anything I say is not endorsed by Deloitte. These are my just own thoughts and things. So, we are actually going to talk about tab napping, which is a great phishing technique. I will start with references to give credits, with a little teaser, a live demo if I'm able to show it, or an offline demo if I'm not, and then the technical stuff and other demos. So the references are JITbit has Alex's blog, which has a slight mistake, and I would like to correct it for you so you don't have to worry about it. And the other great source is os.org. So the teaser is, I will have to actually sit down for this, because I have created a site for you. This is a victim forum. It has a topic, and it says that this is the first post. You can log in here. This is how the login looks like. It's green, it's ugly. And by the time, you will only have to pay attention to the first comment, which is made by evil user. Hi, you can read the best practices here. This is a link for the forum like this. Best regards. So if you click here, this is a malicious website that will redirect the window it opened. Check the window you came from. So if you check it, this is a phishing website, which looks just as ugly as the other one, but it's red. I could have just made it green too, but I wanted to be so you see. So if you didn't catch it, I will suggest you to look here when I click here. It redirects in the background. When you are finishing reading this blog, you close it, and you say, oh, my session must have expired, so I give my credentials. And this website does not have any JavaScript here. So actually, this new website, this attacker.com, redirects my victim.com website to his own phishing website. And this is why it's so believable and so dangerous. So this is just my safety net. So, browser communication. I will have to say that this only works if the two tabs are somehow connected. If you just open up Facebook.com and you manually open up Gmail.com, they cannot communicate. But if you go to vulnerablevictimforum.com and it embeds or opens up attacker blogpost.com, they will get connected, and the two pages will get each other's JavaScript window object. And if these two connected sites are under the same domain, they can run any JavaScript whatsoever. However, if they are cross-domain, like in the first example, vulnerablevictimforum.com opens up attackerblogpost.com, these are two separate domains. This window object is really restricted, but you can still do great stuff with it. For example, the safe way to communicate between tabs is actually to call the post message, which will trigger a message event listener. This is a function implemented on the other side, and it will run whenever post message will be called. And you can call this function on other tabs too. If you check the origin, this is a safe way to communicate between tabs. The other thing you can do is what I have shown. You can redirect the other tab to any website. And yeah, I don't know why browsers still support this, because this functionality can be worked around with post message, and I don't think that this would break the internet if they just throw it out. So why is it useful? It's quite nice that if you just if a developer makes a form, and the developer wants in a new window to be continued, this origin can send data or an information to this little window, and this little window can send back progress, information, or anything like that. So it's quite nice. But why is it dangerous? Well, actually, cross-site scripting attacks, do not underestimate cross-site scripting attacks. For example, if a victim.com has a cross-site scripting vulnerability, and you can do nothing with it, all the cookies are HTTP only, you cannot read any sensitive information, and you cannot do anything, you still can use the power of the domain. So the attacker can open up other pages under that domain, which are not vulnerable to cross-site scripting, and run full JavaScript there, which is horrible. The other thing is the phishing attack. So during a penetration test, so I'm a penetration tester, this is my point of view, but if you are a web developer, you can do the same stuff here. So the first thing you should have to search is whether there is a user-controlled link in the website. Like, I can send anybody links in email, so there's one thing. You have to mitigate that. And there is this, as I mentioned, that this is a problem when two tabs are open. But if the web developer searches only for the target equals blank links, he will think that they will be safe. But actually, there will be a demo that I will show that it's not always the case. JavaScript Open is vulnerable to this if it's not properly set, and the mitigations, if the mitigations are not applied, which are these, then the site is vulnerable. So the mitigation for A tags is just to put no opener to as a new attribute. No opener implements this. We cut the communication stream, but it's not implemented in all the browsers. For example, older Firefox. If I remember right, it's Firefox version 52, which is not implementing this. And it's quite new. For example, Kali Linux comes with this old Firefox by default. In this case, you will have to put no referrer to, and that Firefox will do just as great job as no opener. So the other recommendation, when a developer uses open, JavaScript open function with user-controlled links, the developer should just set the new Windows opener to null. This will work great, except when it doesn't, when you really need it, because if you remember, two sites under the same domain can do anything. If victim.com calls this, opens victim.com, and sets the opener to null, this will run fine. But if victim.com opens attacker.com, and it tries to set opener to null on that cross-domain site, it will be forbidden by the browser because of cross-domain policies. And the attacker.com will be able to redirect my page. So the good workaround, actually there are two of these. The first is just to open up a blank page, set the opener to null. This way this new little window won't be able to communicate back anything, but I'm still able to communicate things to this new window. So I just redirect it to the user input. The other thing is open has a third parameter. Just put no opener, no referrer there. That works too. So we have reached the demo parts. I will try it live. So if you see, there is a sponsored ad here, which is in an iframe. The attacker paid for this link and knew it will appear here. And if I click here and it will open up in a new window, I will be able to redirect this iframes content. But what do you think? Can I redirect the whole page? I can, because I just create a tunnel and escape the iframe. Safety net, regular link. This is the other thing I was talking about. This is the second comment. Evil user says, there's another interesting post here. So this link, if I click it, it just opens up in the same site. The victim.com is safe, except when this page is opened up by another window. I created this logo. If I click it, the same page will open up. And if I click here, it won't appear in a third window, but in the same, I have my attacker.com, and I have my phishing here. And actually, this is the same code as I used in demo 1 at the beginning. And the last part is not visible for some reason. OK, let's do that here. So the last part is spearfishing. If I know that my target is going to click on that link and use the first step to visit other sites, I just create a comment here. Hello, Mr. Administrator. I have found you on social media. You can read about social media marketing here. And he clicks there. A new blog post is coming up. Can you leave this page open, though? Thank you. As you can see, this did not get redirected. But the victim will go back here and go to facebook.com, for example. This is actually a picture of Facebook I found on the internet. And this attacker.com will know that this is, take a good guess, that this is Facebook based on habits and parameters. And it will wait a little and redirect to the Facebook phishing page. And after, the victim still uses this tab. He gives his credentials. He goes to gmail.com, another picture. And the attacker.com saw that it was Gmail and redirected it to gmail.com. So the attacker is really happy. I will try to still do it live. OK. So if I click here and go back, and I use this tab with these two are being connected. I go to facebook.com, which is my site, and got redirected. I go to gmail.com, and I will redirect. Anywhere I go, the page will know which site I'm coming from. Because the only information you can read from a cross-domain, as I found, is the number of frames. I can actually show you that this has 3 frames, just invisible, and these have 5 frames. So this attacker.com just checks whether the other tab has 3 or 5 iframes embedded and redirects depending on that number. But for this, the attacker will have to know the victim's habits, and it won't work for him every time. Thank you.
Thank you for your talk. Any question, guys? Please. Any question?
When do you expect to? Oh, I've got it. When do you expect to publish the code?
I can. Python? No, it's which Python? The JavaScript. It's a JavaScript actually.
Okay.
It's a JavaScript front-end code.
Okay.
So the backend doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's running PHP, but I didn't use any PHP, so it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
But I will talk to the guys and have them.
Can I get that now?
Yes. Let's talk later.
Okay.